May Jesus be with all of us today and always. Welcome to the program Spiritist Teachings, where we are going to show you classes of the course Basic Notions of Spiritism. The course Basic Notions of Spiritism is the first course of the introductory cycle of studies of the Spiritist Center. So today, you are going to watch the class Jesus, the second class of the course Basic Notions of Spiritism. And if you want to reproduce this class in your Spiritist Center, pay attention to the material that we use in each class. So first, we use this book called Get to Know Spiritism. And this book contains all the 14 classes, and it's used in every single class by all students. We also have a book that we use in the moment of self-enlightenment called Agenda of Self-Enlightenment. This book is not just used during the classes, but also at home, every day at home, as a method of self-enlightenment. We also use a book from Emmanuel called 2000 Years Ago. This is the book of the support of our studies, used in the moment of self-enlightenment as well. In every class, you're also going to need an attendance sheet that we're going to take attendance every class at the beginning of each class. For every class, you're going to find in our website that is here on the screen, and you can go online and you'll find a lot of materials. You're going to find all the slides as well as the plan of class, of each class, explaining each moment, what we're going to be using, suggestions of techniques, of group studies, and so on. So for this class, you're going to need balloons, and inside the balloons, before you blow them up, of course, you're going to place questions, and these questions are in the class plan. You're also going to need images, pictures that you can either print, gather images online and print, or you can gather images from newspapers or magazines. And you're also, for this activity, you're going to need posters like these, and markers, colored pencils. You're also going to need glue and masking tape or any type of tape. Today, the instructor will be Anna Emlinger. May you all have a great class. Enjoy! Hello, how are you? Good to see you. Hi, how are you? Very good.
Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. Hi. Hello. Welcome to the class. I'm so glad to see everybody here again. It's wonderful. And how was your week?
Great.
Very good. Did you study the subject?
Of course.
Okay. So before our initial prayer, I will ask Maria to sing a song about the subject of today. Who remembers what's the subject of today? Jesus. What a wonderful subject. So let's sing together. Let's sing along. Jesus, in this silent prayer, your brothers ask you for peace. Let's now close our eyes. Think about the subject of the day. Let's think about Jesus, our dear Master, our dear friend, Jesus Christ. And let's vibrate in harmony, being grateful to God, our Creator, for this wonderful opportunity of being together among friends, studying Spiritism. Thank you, dear Lord. God bless us all. So be it. Well, again, it's wonderful to see everybody here.
And I have here my attendance sheet, and I will see if everybody is present. Maria, Nelly, Annie, Alice, Magda, Júlio, Judith. Wonderful. I'm glad everybody came back to our class. So now, as usual, we start our class with the self-enlightenment agenda. So I would like everyone to have the agenda in your hands. I would like to remind you that as the name says, agenda, it's something that we should work every day. We should use every day. And now the first moment is a free conversation. So you can choose someone close to you and you have a conversation. Let's always remember that Jesus is present among us. And thinking about Him will guide our conversation as well. So now, after these first 10 minutes of a conversation with your friend close to you, we will talk about the book that is our study support book, 2,000 years ago. Are you reading the book? Yes. Are you enjoying? Yes. This is an amazing book. It's a beautiful story. And what happens is, in these first and second chapters, we will see Publius Lentulus in Rome. He is in an afternoon in his house, speaking with his best friend, Flaminius. Publius was about 30 years old, and it was the year 31 after Christ. And Publius, in that day, he was opening his heart to his friend, talking about his concerns. And his biggest concern was his daughter. They found out that his daughter had a disease, leprosy, a disease that by that time there was no healing, there was no cure for that disease. Now, after these 10 minutes discussing the wonderful book 2,000 years ago, let's get our agenda and we will evaluate our week. So I have pens here in case you don't have one. So you can look back the pages of your week, see how you were in these previous days, and evaluate yourself. This is an individual moment. Júlio, can you please read for us the balance of the week, the part from St. Augustine?
Sure.
Thank you.
Ask yourself also this question. If it please God to call me back at this moment into the other life, should I, on returning into the world of spirits, in which nothing is hidden, have to dread the sight of anyone? St. Augustine, The Spirit's Book, question 919.
Okay, so now let's start talking about the subject of today. Jesus, what a wonderful subject. This is a subject that touches our heart. Every time that we think about Jesus, we feel the difference in the ambient. We feel like everything is changing. And today we will understand why Jesus was so important to each one of us and to mankind. Because we will learn that Jesus was the governor of planet Earth. That's why we feel this way when we think about him. Our first activity of today will be with these beautiful balloons that we have here. What we will do, we will come, choose one of the balloons, and inside the balloon you will find a question with a number. This number will indicate in which group you will be. We will do a quick study group, and After that, we will have some charts here, and every group will summarize what you studied in the group coming here in front of the class. Okay? So let's come. Choose the balloons. Okay? Okay, so now that everybody popped the balloons, you found the questions. Who got question number 1? Okay, good. You are all together. Huh? So we have here group number 1. Who got number 2?
Oh.
Great. So group number 2 here. Number 3, let's come here to the side. Okay, wonderful. Group number 1, you study the items Christ and the second great revelation, the community of pure spirits, and the most perfect type. And here is one chart for you to make the activity. It's the poster. Group number 2, study the items Jesus' mission, the direction of the planet Earth, the Holy Mother, and the divine legacy. And we have here one poster. And group number 3, we have Jesus' teachings and God and Jesus. And this is the chart. Okay, so I have here some pencils for you to color your chart. And okay, so now that you finished your study group, was it good?
Yeah.
Are you done? Okay, so let me invite group number 1 here to come to let everybody know what they studied and summarize for us what was the subject that you studied.
Our group had to study who was the one sent by God to teach us love and to be our model of kindness and goodness. And we all know that was Jesus.
Okay, very good. Thank you. I will invite group number 2 to come here in front, close to us, and let us know what you studied.
God sent Jesus to us.
Good. Group number 3, please.
We focused on the difference between God and Jesus. We know that God is our Father and Creator, and Jesus our brother.
Great. Okay, what a good presentation. Thank you so much. And now let's put away the posters, the pens, the pencils, and we will start now a new activity. And for this activity, I need 3 brave volunteers. Magda, please. Nelly, Julio. Great. So now you will have your eyes blindfolded. Okay. Okay. So what we will do is we will let's make some space here in this wall, and you come with me. Let me put you facing the wall. Julio, please face this wall here. You stay here. Magda, you stay here. You guys that are blindfolded, don't move, please. And we will make some obstacles for them. We'll put some chairs here behind, because what you will do is, when I say, okay, you will try to go to the back door of our room. Remember the back door of our room? Mm-hmm. So you will try to reach that back door. Okay?
Oh, help me, God. Let's go together, guys.
So now I would like to stop and let's invite some other 3 volunteers to guide them, to hold their arms or hands and help them to reach the back door. One volunteer for Julio. He needs a volunteer. Please. I would like to ask Julio to tell us, how did you feel in the first moment when you had your eyes blindfolded, and in the second moment when you had someone guiding you?
I felt what at the first time it was very hard because I felt scared without a way to go. I didn't know where to go. When the second part, when somebody guided me, was I felt if somebody that was guiding me felt secure, felt in peace.
How did you feel having obstacles in front of you, having your eyes blindfolded, and then having someone guiding you? Isn't it wonderful? Can't we make a comparison? Can't we think about Jesus? This guide was Jesus helping us. We know it's not easy to be reincarnated. Is it easy?
No.
Is it easy, our life? So many times we suffer. So many times we feel lost. And we many times we forget. And the subject of today, the class, is about Jesus. One class, all dedicated to this subject. This way we can feel His presence every time that we feel obstacles in front of in our way. There are sometimes many, and we need guidance. Let's think about Jesus, this guide, this model, sent by God, sent by our Creator. Jesus is the governor of planet Earth. He's here to guide us. Let's not forget. And now we have a moment of reflection about our subject with some slides. Starting with Moses and the first great revelation, the 10 Commandments. Do you remember the 10 Commandments? The 10 Commandments are still today the foundation of the highest moral philosophy of all humankind. The 10 Commandments received by Moses at the Mount Sinai are the first direct mediumistic message. What is a mediumistic message? It's a message without intermediaries to man on earth by angelic spirits in the name and by order of the Christ. In the name and by order of Jesus Christ. And this is Aureo in the book Universe and Life talking to us. So even much, much before Jesus coming to earth, He was already coordinating activities that would change our lives, especially our moral lives. The 10 Commandments are the sacred letter of justice, the century of the good news. The Christ sphere was getting closer to earth in a profound vibration of love and beauty. Imagine Jesus, the pure spirit, the only one that came to earth. He was preparing Himself to come to earth. And all this vibration could already be felt by people living here. The sublime emissary would arrive on earth. Humankind was living, therefore, the century of good news. Wow, the century of good news. Jesus was coming. The special messenger, the pure spirit. We have many beautiful news. These are from the book Good News by the spirit Humberto de Campos, Jesus coming to earth. Things were changing, the landscape was changing, the vibration was all changing to receive the governor of the planet, the Christ, and the second great revelation. So we had the first great revelation that was brought by Moses in the 10 Commandments. We remember the 10 Commandments. Don't kill, right? It was a beautiful moral code. But we know that Moses also brought a code made by him as a human. Jesus was different. Jesus was the second great revelation. Jesus did not come to destroy the law. This is Allan Kardec in the Gospel according to Spiritism. Jesus did not come to destroy the law, that is to say, God's law. He came to fulfill and develop it, to show its real meaning and to adapt it to the degree of man's advancement at that time. And this is a very important point because our next class will be about Allan Kardec and Spiritism. And we will understand that Jesus was the second revelation, but we already had the third revelation. And we will study next class. But one important point that I would like to highlight here is that Jesus was talking to us in a language that we could understand. Like Kardec says here, to the degree of man's advancement at that time. Here we have again Allan Kardec in the Gospel according to Spiritism saying that Christ was the initiator of the most pure and sublime morality. That is to say, the morality of the evangelical Christianity, who will renew the entire world by bringing together all mankind and will turn them into brothers and sisters. What a wonderful passage. Allan Kardec was a brilliant mind, and he could explain Jesus in a so beautiful way, talking about the sublime morality of Jesus, that Jesus brought this to us, and that will transform mankind, will help us to become the brothers and sisters that we are supposed to be. We have here Emmanuel in the book On the Way to the Light, bringing to us this beautiful message, talking about the community of the pure spirits. Emmanuel was telling us about this important happening. The traditions of the spiritual world affirm that in the direction of all the phenomena of our system, there is a community of pure spirits elected by the Supreme Lord of the universe, and in whose hands are kept the reins of planetary collectivity. We are in the hands of these great spirits, this community of the pure spirits that all organized, they are taking care of our planet. These are good news for us because in this class talking about Jesus is so important that we have this knowledge that we are not alone. Just like in the dynamic of the guide, that we had someone guiding our steps, just like Jesus does with us. We had this community of pure spirits. Here we have Emmanuel on the way to the light, saying that this community of angelic and perfect beings, of which Jesus is one of the divine members. Listen to what a beautiful news here. This community only met on Earth's proximity twice in the length of the non-millenniums. Only twice. What a wonderful news for us. Jesus was coming to our planet. the most perfect type. Allan Kardec, in the Spirits book, he asks the spirits this important question. All the other questions are important, of course, but this one is remarkable for us. What is the most perfect type that God has offered to man as his guiding model? Allan Kardec wanted to know, if we would choose someone, who could we choose? Do we have someone, he asked the spirits, that we could follow as our model, as our guide? And the answer, Jesus. Jesus is this model that will change our lives. Let's remind that if we don't know what to do, if we are in doubt, where should I go? How should I act? Should I follow a guide? We have the answer in the Spirit's book. Jesus is our guide. The mission of Jesus, Emmanuel, in the book The Consoler, he says, envoy of God, he was the representation of the Father to the erring flock of his wisdom and love. And here we have Emmanuel in the book Emmanuel telling us about the direction of the planet Earth. And for us, this is so important. Why? Because sometimes we turn on the television and we don't know what to think if we don't have this knowledge that Spiritism brings to us, that we are in a car with a driver that knows where he's going to. This is important. The direction of the planet Earth. Jesus, which perfection is lost in the mysterious night of the eras, personifying wisdom and love, has guided all mankind's development, sending his enlightened messengers at all times, and he presided the formation of the orb. Listen to these. Jesus, of course, by the guidance of God, presided the formation of this planet. And he was already a pure spirit, as the divine inspiration to the ones that collaborated in the task since man conquered rationality. He has furnished man the idea of man's divine origin, the treasure of the conceptions of God, and the immortality of the soul, revealing in each epoch what man's comprehension could understand. So beautiful. We are in a car with a safe direction. This driver, that is Jesus, he knows what he's doing. He knows where we are going to. And he revealed this knowledge for us when we were able to comprehend. The Holy Mother. What is the role of our Divine Mother, Mary, the one that carried Jesus, that brought Jesus to us? Ariel, in the Universe and Life, talks about her, calling her as divine star of the universe of the great souls. She had to peregrinate from the sublime paradise of her happiness to our valley of tears. Imagine, she was already in the paradise, if we could use this word like Aurel says, and she decided to help us, to give us the support that she gave. She came, she peregrinated from these higher spheres to this valley of tears in order to help and to serve mankind, very poor of spirituality, of which she made herself forever the great mother, great advocate, and great protector. This is Mary, the mother of Jesus. She's our great advocate. Some teachings of Jesus in the Sermon of the Mountain. Blessed are the gentle, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God. This is Jesus with his peaceful message, with his words of wisdom and pure love. He touched all hearts that could be close to him. Imagine these moments known as the Sermon of the Mountain, so important, so sublime for our souls. Again, Jesus, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Sometimes that's what we need. We need some rest. We need some peace. And Jesus is telling us, come to me and I will give you what you're looking for. I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me. For I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. This is Jesus. Imagine, he's giving us a message of hope. The hope that sometimes we seek and we don't know where to find. Now we do. Now we have. Now we know. Let's not forget that Jesus brought this message to us. God and Jesus. Reading the purifying pages of the Gospel, it is moving to find out the supreme and constant love revealed by Jesus towards our Celestial Father. This is Hernani Teles Santana in the book Notes of an Apprentice. The Father and I are one. I am in Him and He is in me. No one knows the Son but the Father, and no one knows the Father but the Son. The Father loves the Son and has given all things into His hand. Everything that belongs to Him belongs to me. Jesus had this proper way of speaking because He was a pure spirit. He would talk about God as if they were the same because they were so close. And He came to this planet to bring the sublime message of the Lord, His Father. And He knew what He was doing. He was in charge. Imagine, just like us, sometimes with our babies, we are teaching them to walk, and they try to walk to a place that is not safe, and we tell them with all the property of someone that knows how to guide, knows the better way to go. We tell our kids, don't go this way, my darling. Let's go this way, it's easier. You're going to be happier like this. Imagine Jesus, because we are so imperfect and we know how to guide so well our kids. Imagine Jesus facing all mankind. He knew what He was doing. Gospel is the building of the soul's redemption. As such, Jesus' lessons should be searched no more as any rhetorical exposition, but each disciple aiming towards self-improvement. He's talking about us because we want to be better, don't we? We want to be, we want to evolve. So Emmanuel is telling us that we should see the gospel where we find the teachings of Jesus so alive, like an alive letter for humankind. He's saying, let's not look for this book as just a rhetorical exposition, but if we are aiming toward our self-improvement, we should do this, unfolding the edifications of the Divine Master in the definitive field of the Spirit. This is the divine legacy for Jesus to us. The manual of being happy on earth is the gospel. Let's not forget, Aurel in the Universe and Life, talking about this divine legacy of Jesus in more details. He says, the divine legacy of Jesus, which the earthly humanity hasn't accepted and couldn't receive yet, is of a happy world of peace and love without injustice, without misery. That's what Jesus teaches us. Because the day that we are able to love each other the way He taught us, we won't have wars anymore. We won't have sadness anymore. We will just help each other. Just be sweet and kind to each other. We will have peace and love without injustice, without misery, without orphans. Mothers and fathers wouldn't abandon their kids anymore. Without crimes and hatred, without fratricides and without wars, where everyone, compassionate and progressive, will create the beauty, develop science and arts, philosophy and technique with dignified work and honest rest in the nobility of the family and with proactive and clarifying administration. Again, we have this legacy, this divine legacy of Jesus in our hands. That is the gospel. Well, so now our last slide, we have this special invitation, these 3 books. If we want to study more, to learn more about the subject, we have Jesus for the Youth in a language more appropriate for the young. We have Jesus by Alta de Souza editor. And now we will watch part of a movie, a beautiful movie by Franco Zeffirelli. And he will show, this part that we selected, will show Jesus in the Sermon of the Mountain. Let's enjoy this movie now.
Sure.
Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for what is right, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted in the cause of right, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people abuse you and persecute you and speak all kinds of calumny against you for my sake. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward will be great in heaven, as it was for the prophets persecuted before you. In your prayers, remember, your Father knows what your needs are before you ask Him. This is how you should pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. and lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil.
Wow, it's an inspiring movie. Did you enjoy? Was it beautiful? Imagine having the chance of being there in the Sermon of the Mountain, having Jesus saying to us, "Blessed are the afflicted." Imagine, it's a beautiful situation. Let's keep this in mind. Let's persevere in our difficulties. After this class, we know more about Jesus. We can solve our problems better because we know we have a guide. We know we have someone holding our hands and helping us overcome our obstacles, overcome our difficulties in life. Next week, we have a wonderful class. What is the subject of next week? Do you remember? Do you know?
Allan Kardec.
Allan Kardec and Spiritism. So let's not forget, let's study. Take some minutes of your week, get the book, study the subject in advance. We hope to see everyone back again. Have a wonderful week. Again, thank you so much for coming. We are very happy to have everyone here in our classes. Now I invite everyone for our final prayer. Let's close our eyes. And again, let's think about Jesus. Jesus Christ, our dear Master, guide for our lives. We are so thankful, dear Jesus, for your presence among us. We are so thankful because we know we have your guidance. We have your lessons to teach us how to be better tomorrow, better than today, today better than yesterday. Thank you so much, dear God, our Creator, for this wonderful, amazing opportunity of being here together. God bless us all. So be it. Again, thank you so much. And let's now give our hugs. Let's hug our friends. Let's exchange this wonderful energy, this wonderful vibration. Thank you.